as they cross the platform, and we congratulate them all with applause. We hope that you enjoyed the ceremony, and please continue your celebrations with us in the Cathedral Green afterwards. Now please stand for the procession. Thank you.
Please be seated. Chancellor, Deputy Lord Mayor of Chester, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests. A very warm welcome to you all as we gather together in Chester's magnificent cathedral on this very special day. My name is Jill Reeve and I'm Senior University Chaplain and Dean of Chapel. In addition to those of us gathered here in the cathedral, we're also joined by others online, and we extend a really warm welcome to each one of you as well. In our graduation ceremonies this week, we have been conferring honorary degrees, acknowledging those who have made a contribution to society from beyond the university. And we're delighted to be able to introduce you to one of our honorary graduands later in this service. And a word of encouragement to those of us who will be applauding our new graduates later. It's a day of great joy, and so I want to encourage you to be enthusiastic in your welcome, because it's a day of celebration. And so if you need my permission, you have it, to fill this cathedral with a good sense of cheer. A highlight of our academic year is to see our students graduate and move on to ventures new, equipped to serve communities and wider society in a variety of ways. From where I stand, looking out at you as a sea of graduands, I'm struck by the talent and the potential that's gathered here today. A collective noun for a group of graduates that you will indeed soon be is a fortitude of graduates. And that word fortitude describes well the determination, the perseverance and the stamina that each of you have needed to complete your studies. And now we gather together to collectively celebrate your achievements. The University of Chester has a long history in training students, having been founded in the 1840s as a Church of England teacher training college. That Christian foundation continues to guide our values as a university, expressed in our mission statement, founded in faith, creating community, serving society. In the 1840s, the college began with just 10 students. And now our multi-faith chaplaincy team welcomes and supports a vibrant, diverse, international community of 15,000 students. Each of you have made your own unique contribution in your time with us, and we are thankful for each one of you. And so now, as the service begins, I would encourage you to put all distractions aside, including worries about whether that cap of yours will actually stay on your head, and simply enjoy this moment. As we begin our service, we unite our hearts and our prayers for each one of you graduating today. May you use your unique gifts and talents well, always mindful of the needs of others, and with a heart of care and compassion that is committed to a fairer and more just world. May you keep alive in you a spirit of inquiry and exploration, with an openness to question and be questioned in the search for truth, learning, and new insights. May you find before you new possibilities and wider horizons, and have the confidence to step out in faith with a sense of adventure, joy, and hope. And always let integrity be your guide. And may God bless you today and in the days ahead. Amen.
Permissum vici sineo. I declare open this congregation for the presentation of degrees and awards.
Good afternoon. My name is Giles Brandreth, and I have the honour to be the Chancellor of the University of Chester. The Chancellor is the ceremonial head of the university. The work is done by the Vice-Chancellor and her team, remarkable people, the people who have been looking after you and the work you've been doing here in recent years. And both to warm ourselves up and because they deserve it, let us salute everyone who works at the university, from the Vice-Chancellor right the way through her team, not only the teaching staff, but the administrative staff, the people who do the cleaning, the caterers, everybody. They make the university happen. Let us salute them and thank them for making this university what it is. If you know me at all, it may be because you have seen me on television. I pop up on programs like this morning, The One Show. Some of you may have seen me on a program called Gogglebox. This is a strange program where people are filmed watching television. You watch while people watch television. Quite bizarre. It's turned me into the person I am now. If I look a bit rattled, this is because I have spent 5 years doing Gogglebox, and it's a result of becoming hooked on naked attraction. And if you recognize my voice, this could be because you might have heard a radio program I do called Just a Minute, or because you watch ITV3 of an afternoon. This is a television station that shows a lot of old murder mysteries and has advertisements mainly featuring people sitting in chairs where the legs go up and the people stand up. Those seems to be most of the commercials. I don't appear in a commercial. I'm the voice of one of the advertisements. Mine is the voice now of the Tenor Flex Plus Super Soft Incontinence Pad. The advantage of this is that however long the ceremony lasts, I can stay here throughout it. The cold weather isn't affecting me at all. I'm delighted to be here, honoured to be here, excited to be here today. I always love coming into this extraordinary building. Do, while you're here today, relish the fact that you're in a building where worship has been taking place now for 1,000 years. This is living history. It's an amazing building. I first came into this building more than 30 years ago when I was the Member of Parliament for the City of Chester. And I came here on Maunday Thursday in 1992 because that year the Maunday service was being conducted in the presence of the then Queen, Elizabeth II, and her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh. And the last time I was in a mighty cathedral like this, and as old as this one, was a few weeks ago at the funeral of the Queen, who, as you know, died in September this year, our longest reigning sovereign. And I was privileged to meet and to get to know the Queen. I mention that I met the Queen only because during the course of today's ceremony, you will be crossing the stage here, And as you get your degree, you will be shaking my hand. And you may think, well, what's the point of shaking his hand? All he's done is be on Gogglebox. But don't think about that. Think when you're shaking my hand, knowing that I met the Queen, you're shaking the hand that shook the hand of the longest reigning sovereign in our history. This is a momentous day for you, if only at one remove. I've been thinking about the Queen because I've been writing a book about her, and she was certainly a most remarkable person. The Dean of Chapel mentioned the word integrity, and the Queen, who was indeed Queen for 70 and more years, was a person of integrity, a person with staying power, commitment, who, when she gave her word, kept it, a person of good humour, good heart, a person of consistency, and a remarkable individual. And I was conscious at her funeral a few weeks ago in Westminster Abbey in London that there were attending that funeral the leaders of 250 different countries from around the world. In fact, more heads of state, presidents, prime ministers, princes, kings and queens gathered in London for the funeral of the late Queen than had ever gathered in one place at the same time before in the history of the world. Now, why did so many people come to honour the Queen? It wasn't because this country is the most important country in the world. That might have been said 120 years ago or more when this university had its foundation in Victorian times. Queen Victoria, until the present, the last Queen, the longest reigning Queen, in her day, Britain was a world power. Now we are the 21st most populous country in the world with the 6th largest GDP. No, all these people had come for the person, to honour the person of the Queen, because of those virtues that I spoke of, and also because of the length of her reign. And during the time around her funeral, I was lucky enough to be part of the BBC team, and often found myself, most days, in fact in the 10 days run up to the funeral, crossing Green Park to where the BBC had their studio outside Buckingham Palace. And I met some of the thousands, tens of thousands, in the end hundreds of thousands of people who came there with flowers to leave in memory of the Queen, Paddington Bears, poems that they'd written. And I spoke with some of these people. And they were people of all sorts, all ages, all types, all nationalities. Many youngish people with their own children who brought them for the children to feel they were taking part in a moment in history. And in the early days, there were often people with tears in their eyes, less so as the time wore on, but there was a lovely atmosphere, quite subdued, but very friendly. There were tears, but there was also a sense of celebration. The Queen was 96 years of age. People do die. It was a long life, well achieved. But I wondered why so many people were coming to pay tribute to somebody they knew of but had never met. And I think I came to this conclusion, that we live in a world where there is a great deal of evil. If you watch the news, you see what's happening in Ukraine, you know there is evil in the world. And yet here was the Queen, a person with those virtues that I spoke of consistency, of compassion, of integrity, those values, but also a person who was palpably good, who in a sense was an exemplar of goodness. And I sensed that people coming there were almost reaching out for that goodness that was in the Queen. And if you want a role model, I offer you the Queen. One of her favourite sayings was a line from the poet and artist William Blake: "He who would do good must do it by minute particulars." What that essentially means is you want to do good, you do it by doing individual acts of goodness. Do things that are worthwhile. And you, now equipped with the education and training you have received here, are going out to lives of service. The Queen gave a life of service. That's what you are dedicating, many of you, your lives to. And that's marvellous. You are going to go out and do good from here on in. It's a fantastic ambition. Do it with the same commitment, consistency, and integrity that the late Queen did, and you won't be doing badly. So congratulations on your achievement. Congratulations on being here. And while we're saying congratulations, we must include the parents and families. Sometimes people say to me, Giles, why are you still working at your age? And I say, I have 3 children and 7 grandchildren. I need the money. Indeed, as the years have gone by, my wife and I have realized, with our 3 children, that money is the one thing keeping us in touch with them. So this is the moment, if you have been supported by friends, family and relatives through your time here at the University of Chester, this is the time to salute them and thank them for being here and being with you. Well done, families. So relish today in this amazing setting. Be proud of what you have achieved. Look forward to the future. Do everything to the best of your ability. Do good in the world. And enjoy today. Enjoy the moment as you cross the stage. Enjoy hearing your friends and colleagues cheering you. And shake my hand with confidence, knowing that you're shaking the hand that shook the hand of the longest reigning monarch in our island's history. But I must give you something extra, because I know that not everybody here will be a monarchist or a royalist. Ours is a university that is inclusive. We welcome people of every faith and of no faith. We welcome people of all views, of every kind. There's going to be an election coming up locally in the near future. And if you live locally, make sure you vote. It's important to be an active citizen. We don't mind who you vote for, just get out there and take part. But in order to be inclusive, I can offer you something extra today if you are not a royalist. A few years ago, I wrote a play about the distinguished British writer and playwright A.A. Milne. And A.A. Milne, in the 1920s, wrote some stories that have become world famous about the adventures of Christopher Robin and his bear, Winnie the Pooh. Well, Christopher Robin was a real person, the son of A.A. Milne. The boy was born in 1920. Winnie the Pooh was his actual teddy bear. And I, when I was writing this play, got to know the real Christopher Robin. He was quite an elderly man then, in his 60s. He was a bookseller, a lovely man. And I became a friend of Christopher Robin. So remember, when you shake my hand today, you're also shaking the hand that shook the hand that held the paw of Winnie the Pooh. No other university in the world can offer you that. Congratulations, well done, enjoy the day, thank you.
Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you this graduand for the admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit this graduand to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of the University of Chester.
For a programme of study entitled Dietary Habits and Adherence to the Mediterranean Diet amongst Adolescents and Adults in Cyprus, a cross-sectional study, Vasiliki Sarantopoulou. Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you this graduand for admission to the degree of Master of Arts in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit this graduand to the degree of Master of Arts of the University of Chester.
Megan Sarah Jane Devine. Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you these graduates for admission to the degree of Master of Science in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduates to the degree of Master of Science of the University of Chester.
Mohammed Amin Abdullah. Kahindi Oyeyoki Adebugoye. Niyaz Ahmed. Marwa Al-Saidi. Ais Apu. Joshua Olwatomini Aruyo. Liba Ashraf. Bipana Basnet. Zakaria Ben Hamidai. Yuma Bizwas. Emo Samuel Bronson. Inella Burial. Abdul Fazal Al-Bari Chowdhury. Shime Judith Chuyo Oji. Ellie Mae Collins. Shilpi Dantuluri. Raktim Daz. Rosamol Devasi. Lindsay Doyle. Amy Lauren Drury. Sushma Dubaka. John Uchi Egbu. David Inung Agin. Chichijoki Nudu Busi Eneveza Zoo. Oluwaye Misi Aduni Femi Pius. Joy Christiana Monona Friday. Deepika Sathikuma Gupta. Richmond Gaby Gimaha. Helen Mary Higgins. Mohammed Al Amin Holada. Anureth Ranjitha Jamshi. Yuri Janko. Jinsi Jabin Jacob. Jinsi Jose. Sahel Kareem. Nur ul Huda Khan. Hannah Mariam Kadopi Ali. Wakil Alaid Lawal. Mana Sapiria Mani Vanan. Asfan Yal Makbul. Aksa Matthew. Hannah Mohammed Hashim. Taneem Rahman Mozumda. Ishimoma Ogelaka. Olushi Comfort Okafor. Abigail Helen Price. Avisa Rahman Punota. Mohammed Razibur Rahman. Sinasa Rahman. Suja Railek Shimi. Austin Rattigan. Nicole Robertson. Michael Sago Baffo. Fajana Yasmin Samapti. Imogen Alice Sharut. Tahera Shul. Shohil Sharob. Gan Rebecca Soriway. Nathan Arnold Sesfulma. Nidihi Harishad Kumar Tana. Jess Thomas. Ifyani Aslem Ugmumba. Zainab Usman. Karthik Gurunath Ray Vai Dai. Neha Vashistha. Sophie Marie Rose Weldon. Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you these graduates for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Arts in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduates to the degree of Bachelor of Arts of the University of Chester.
James Bell. Liam Burrows Selby. And Thomas David Evans. Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you these graduates for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Medical Sciences in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduates to the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science of the University of Chester.
Dania Reid Alsakar. Fazana Begum. Caitlin Blackburn. Evangeline Michelle Cook. Nathan Cook. Davina Neve Hamilton. Andrew James Hendrick. Zahir Jabin. Erin Elizabeth Sarah Thomas. Abir Zobidi. Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you these graduates for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Science in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduates to the degree of Bachelor of Science of the University of Chester.
Fathia Omolara Addison. Charles Avery. Matthew Bailey. Courtney Elizabeth Bate. Kalsuma Begum. Jacob William Bentham. Alicia Beresford. Ivan Alip Bernardo. Ellie Nicole Bradbury. Sean Bryers. Rose Irene Brooks. Esther Buick. Christian Sebastian Bufowski. Matthew Buller. Abigail Hannah Burnett. Alex Busby. Vivian Louise Kai. Olivia Carroll. Emma Elizabeth Chell. Caitlin Bocajon Schofield. Sierra Beyonce Cornelius. Mark Cohen. Molly Cowie. Emma Joanne Cullingford. Carla Dale. Isabella Jane Darwin. Lucy Deere. Jade Louise Edwards. Rebecca Ellis. Victoria Shalene Erickson. Ryan Etchells. George William Evans. Elise Victoria Fotheringham. Jacob Galanti. Tegan Gladman. Claudia Gomez Calatayud. Brannigan Graham. Harrison Gregory. Jordan Guest. Leanne Marie Harrison. Louise Harding. Isabel Ann Harris. Leon Henry. Erin Hewitt. Luca Hidaka Webb. Nathan Higgs. Talia Holden. Alice Emma Hoole. Christian Howard. Lewis Hughes. Lauren Humphreys. Yusra Hussain. Elliot James. Sophie Louise Jennings. Erin Catherine Jones. Susan Michelle Jones. Samantha Mercy Cargo. Joseph Kincaid. Samantha Guam. Kieran Lanfear. Kelsey Antonia Lawson. Anna Mackay. Georgia Marlowe. Kate Louise Martin. George Meredith. Alexandra Joy Messenger. Nadiru Mayo. Nadia Amelia Molinari. Saoirse Monaghan. Matthew Morris. Sam Morris. Amber Murray. Alice Grace Murrell. Catherine Victorian Nagel. Harry Nicholas. Megan Nicholson. Rachel Noon. Harriet Oakes. Kabali Baudafdu Oki. Raskan Onem. Fitha Rafiq Parotti. Rifwa Shireen. Jade Povey Owens. Amy Pritchard. Jasmine Prosser. Alexander Ramage-Hill. Rebecca Jane Ranson. Amy Richardson. Sam Ridgway. Magdalena Justinia Zapotewska. Hanny Grace Scott. Catherine Elizabeth Seal. Kate Searle. Alexandra Semicheva. Hannah Sheehan. Emma Louise Shenton. Madison Smith. Athira Somasundaran. Imogen Maria Stacey. Charlotte Stansfield. Thomas Stoddart. Ethan Lee Taylor. Fabricio Otniel Salvio Tono. Jack Towie. Belinda Ugwu. Joanne Valentine. Lisa Amy Funfiran. Lucy Ruston. Lauren Walker. Courtney Wall. Eve Walsh. Wesley Watton. Victoria Eleanor Welsh. Tea Vika. Keris Halfwen Williams. Linnea T. Tui Wilson. Evie Ragg. Thomas Christopher Yates. Josephine Yidana. Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you these graduates for the award of Foundation Degree in Science in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I present to these graduates the award of Foundation Degree in Sciences of the University of Chester.
Abigail Challoner. Scarlett Axis Hampson. Lauren McDougall. Stacey Louise Ranson. Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you these graduates for the award of Postgraduate Diploma of this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I present to these graduates the award of Postgraduate Diploma of the University of Chester.
Sam Harrison. Simone Hathaway. Megan Maguire. Elizabeth Robinson. Kirthi Seelam. Katie Shaw. And Emma Sloan. Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you this graduate for the award of Diploma of Higher Education of this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I present to this graduate the award of Diploma of Higher Education of the University of Chester.
Nicole Hernandez Coulson. Chancellor, I make application to you to present the degrees and awards listed to those candidates at the University of Chester who have not been presented in person, but whose names appear in the programme and who have indicated that they wish their degrees to be presented in absentia. I certify that they are worthy to receive those degrees and awards, and I stand as proxy for them.
I admit them to those degrees and present those awards, and I accept you as proxy. I now call on the public orator to present the honorary graduate Stephen McGann for admission to his degree.
Good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to introduce Stephen Vincent McGann for his honorary doctorate today. Born in Kensington, or Kenny, Liverpool in 1963, Stephen grew up in a traditional working-class Irish Catholic family alongside his 3 brothers and sister. Stephen recalls his childhood as one of adventure, regaling me with tales of his childhood journeys by ferry and then bike to Chester to check out the Roman history. Stephen and his siblings also enjoyed the arts, whether it was singing or acting, like a twisted version of the Osmond family. His words, not mine. And his enthusiasm led to him joining the Everyman Youth Theatre when he was 15, where his passion for performing really took hold. Despite Stephen being a self-confessed mathematics, science and history nerd, and being told regularly he was perfect university material, his A-levels did not go to plan, and at 18, he found himself struggling with his mental health as depression took hold. Stephen is refreshingly candid about this time, as he describes becoming increasingly withdrawn and anxious about leaving the house. At one point, whilst performing a gig at a party in London with his brothers, he was spotted and asked to be in a new musical. Though struggling with agoraphobia at the time, Stephen took the plunge and pursued this new opportunity, and with great inner resolve and determination, overcame the reservations and barriers that had been plaguing him over this challenging period. As more doors opened, he officially became an actor. Stephen speaks fondly of one particular casting audition from a new up-and-coming playwright. He was greeted by an enthusiastic young woman called Heidi, and, though it was many years later when they both realised it, it was love at first sight. Stephen married Heidi, and they would later be accompanied on their exciting life adventures by their son, Dominic. Stephen continued to perform on stage and in TV, as well as writing his own screenplays, including The Hanging Gale, a BAFTA-nominated TV drama about the Irish potato famine, where he performed alongside his brothers. Stephen found pleasure in taking on new projects and adding new skills to his repertoire. But he explains he had a metaphorical itch he just could not scratch. Finding himself reflecting back on what his teachers told him when he was younger, it suddenly became so clear to him. I want to go back to school. And so, at 40, Stephen enrolled on a computer science program through the Open University. Stephen thoroughly enjoyed the whole academic experience, studying flexibly whilst continuing to perform across the length and breadth of the country. He recalls one wonderfully absurd memory of sitting in a dressing room, dressed head to toe as Reverend Shaw Moore at the London opening of Footloose, trying to work out a particularly complex mathematical equation with 5 minutes to go before he was due on stage. By this time, Stephen had well and truly caught the education bug, and, after graduating from the OU, he continued on to his master's, but this time keen to study at a bricks and mortar university. Opting for Imperial College London, he remembers well the strong sense of belonging and community he felt on his first day. Stephen chose to study science communication, as he was fascinated by the way science interfaces with humanity, whether it be through media, in laboratories, or in the classroom. The enthusiasm was borne out through Stephen's dissertation, which looked at how STEM characters, such as doctors or scientists, are represented by mass media. Stephen described this undertaking as the final piece of a jigsaw that connected all his previous interests, skills, career, and curiosities in a way that made sense and bestowed a renewed purpose to his life. One day, Stephen was busy studying on campus when he received a call from his wife Heidi, who explained that she and the producer were struggling to cast the role of a doctor in a new drama she was showrunner for. We've had this idea that you could do this small part around your studies, she suggested, before following with the sweetener. You needn't worry, as it's a 6-part series about nuns and midwives, so let's face it, no one's going to watch it. Ever the enthusiast, Stephen agreed. Now, on its 11th series, Call the Midwife continues to draw a large viewing audience, but it is also a beautiful example of art imitating life, as Stephen has used the research and knowledge he gained from undertaking his postgraduate degree to convey, through the role of Dr. Patrick Turner, an accurate portrayal of life as a local GP during a period of great scientific, social, and medical change. Stephen's love of both the arts and science is evident through the talks he has given about his academic research at a variety of science festivals, the essays he has published and contributed to, and the books he has written, including his most recent publication, Flesh and Blood, A History of My Family in 7 Maladies, which explores his own family history told through the different medical ailments they suffered. Stephen puts his success down to his passion for education and, most importantly, allowing himself to be curious. Stephen finds it unhelpful when people say you should follow your dreams, because for many, including him, there may not be any particular dream or direction readily apparent. Instead, he suggests, people should follow their curiosity. See where that takes them. It led him to Chester as a child and leads him here again today. It is evident that this philosophy has worked well for Stephen, and in doing so has benefited so many other people along the way. Chancellor. In the name of the Senate and the Council, it is with great pleasure that I present to you Stephen McGann for admission to the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, in this university. Thank you.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa of the University of Chester. It gives me great pleasure to invite Dr. McGann to address the congregation.
Distinguished and honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, and all you brilliant graduates, many, many thanks for having me today. It is an extreme honour to be here today. Many thanks to Jamie for that quick and very strange journey through my life. It's a bit like a sort of one of those disjointed TV dramas, the ones that seem to make no coherent sense until the last act, when all the earlier incidents and characters suddenly tie together into one connected whole. And that's really the key point about all of this following your dream stuff that Jamie mentioned, and which I'll just briefly expand on here. Dreams are great. Following them is great. But what if you don't know what your dreams are yet? What if your dreams haven't yet formed into something that you can pin to the fridge, something to give you some inspiration? More than that, what if your dreams change as new experiences enter your life? Do you just scrap everything and start over again? Now, my son, Dominic, is 25 years old, and he is currently studying for a PhD at one of those universities that seem to churn out so many bad prime ministers. He's certainly thriving. Some might say that he's successfully followed his dreams in a nice straight line to get where he is now. Actually, no. I'm going to flash back to 2014. Dom is 17. My wife, Heidi, has taken him on a university open day to Durham. just before he hands in his UCAS form with his final university choices. Now, ever since Dom was in short trousers, he has wanted to be a biological scientist. He's very good at it too. So, poor Heidi has therefore spent the entire day in Durham looking patiently through test tubes at worms and listening gamely to lectures on evolution. But on the long drive home, Heidi hears a timid voice from the back seat. Mom, I don't want to be a scientist anymore. There's a long pause. Heidi slowly pulls the car over into a lay-by on the A1. Okay, darling, well, there are lots of other areas you can consider with your science subject. What is it you would prefer to study? I want to do philosophy. Not so much a change of direction as a full-on Liz Truss U-turn. There were just a few weeks left until the UCAS hand-in. His personal statement was already submitted, but it was full of his passion for science. And yet, there was a method in his madness. Dom was also gifted at philosophy. You see, he'd attended a sixth form that allowed pupils to follow their curiosity with their A-levels and not just narrow specialisms. He'd simply wanted to pursue another one of his great curiosities. So, what we did was we rushed together some more open days with a focus on philosophy courses. And he decided on Manchester. He subsequently spent 3 very happy years in a hovel in Fallowfield, mixing his time between doing musicals and reading Thomas Aquinas. But here's the thing. His passion for study really took off from that point. And the most important and interesting thing, his PhD thesis now combines the philosophy of religion with the philosophy of science. He is literally employing all of those old scientific interests in a wider understanding of the ideas of faith. His old dream wasn't wasted. It just grew to fit his new curiosity. So the moral of my little story is this, and the story of my own multi-chaptered life. It's no dream is ever wasted when you follow your curiosity. If you don't have a dream, if you graduates here today don't yet have a dream to follow, be curious instead. And be as curious as far as it will take you. Because dreams can change. But you know what? Curiosity will take you to dreams that you never imagined you'd have. That, for me, is the purpose of all good education. It's the reason I'm standing before you today. It's the reason you were all right to pursue your education in this place. Ladies and gentlemen, the very, very best of luck to you all. And stay curious. Thank you.
I now invite Talia Holdham, graduate of the class of 2022, to address the congregation.
Good afternoon, everybody. So when I began my undergraduate journey, I did not think I'd be graduating with a first, let alone be asked to give a speech here today. So for that, I am very grateful. I'm sure my fellow students would agree that these 3 years have been a roller coaster, namely due to COVID affecting each year of our studies. Moving away from home can be scary, dealing with dodgy housemates can be tough, the pandemic definitely caused chaos, and third year in general was intense. But we made it here today, and for that we should be very, very proud. So I would like to say thank you on behalf of the students to the university and our respective departments. For me, that is the Sport and Exercise department, for their unwavering support in enabling us to achieve our very best. Without coming to Chester, I wouldn't have met some incredibly important people to me. Shout out Jade Edwards. So whether it was being part of a society or sport, meeting new people on your course, or on a night out in Rosie's, Chester will always be at the heart of our memories. However, I'm sure everyone can agree that none of this would have been possible without all of you. So on behalf of my peers and myself, I would like to say a huge thank you to all of you, friends, family and loved ones, for giving us all of the support, love and encouragement we needed throughout these few years. Even if we didn't realise it then, we definitely do now. Although this is the end of an incredible journey for many of us at Chester, it is also the beginning of a new one. Whether it be a career, postgraduate study like me, or travelling, don't stop until you're proud. Don't let your fear decide your fate. If it doesn't fit your vibe or align with your morals, cut it off and reassess. Let your success be the noise and celebrate every victory, no matter how big or small. I would like to end by expressing my gratitude and thanks. Thank you to the university for giving us a platform to achieve our goals. Thank you to the Sport and Exercise Science department for supporting me even today as a former student. And thank you to all of you who have made it here today. But most of all, I would like to congratulate my fellow graduates for all of their achievements thus far in graduating. Today is all about us, so let's celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Talia. Great words. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Eunice Simmons. I'm Vice-Chancellor at the University. I'd like to extend a particularly warm welcome to colleagues from the NHS that are here today, because the study of medicine and life sciences has a proud tradition dating back to antiquity, forever reinventing itself, being at the forefront of human health, and contributing to the welfare of humankind through scientific innovation and practical application. It's in this profession that you're now taking your rightful place. And those of you that have studied sports and exercise science have already contributed enormously to the well-being of our students, local population and the wider region. As well as being great role models of the benefits of sport and physical activity, you've engaged with our partners to emphasise the importance of exercise in daily life. Some of you have worked with national and internationally renowned athletes and professional teams, helping to enhance their performance, deepening the understanding of the science underpinning success. And the role of nutrition and diet in maintaining the health of the population is just as important, and I'm equally proud to see our food science, human nutrition and dietetic students graduate today. Never has food security and sustainability been so important, and I know many of you have developed a particular interest in these topics during your time in Chester. Special thanks to those of you who are now registered dietitians and will be joining the NHS. Our clinical placement partners in local hospitals spoke highly of you whilst you were students, and I know they're looking forward to you joining their clinical teams. And as a biologist, I was delighted to see such a range of biomedical scientists graduate today, from microbiologists to biochemists and haematologists. This year, we've been especially impressed by the standard of the dissertations that you submitted as part of your course. Now, some of you will be joining service and research laboratories throughout the world, and others will be returning to clinical careers in the UK and overseas. Although clinical medicine is only one of the many career opportunities open to you, I congratulate those of you who've secured places to study graduate entry medicine at other medical schools in the UK. As you know, we have plans to open our own programme in the near future. And indeed, our physician associates are already demonstrating to our NHS partners the value of their role in both general practice and hospital care. Thank you for devoting your lives to helping others. And as your graduation ceremony now draws to a close, we hope this day has been memorable for you and for those who've supported you through your studies. So what next? Our careers and employability team is here to help you take that next step. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur who wishes to set up their own enterprise. Maybe you're considering further study. Whatever the path, we are here to guide you, and please do keep in touch, because today you are celebrating being part of a community that is over 100,000 strong, living and working in 135 countries. Our Development and Alumni Relations Office is here to keep you connected to your university. Maintaining links to us and your fellow alumni can be incredibly important and beneficial, because within this community could be your next employer, your mentor or client. Now, you'll be used to receiving student shout-out during your time with us. Well, now you can look forward to graduate shout-out landing in your inbox each month. We want to hear how former students are progressing through life, so please scan the QR code in your programme, or when you see our graduate shout-out team in the marquee, do join our super alumni community. And in about 15 months, you'll be contacted by our survey partners to complete the Graduate Outcomes Survey. I know you thought you'd escape surveys, but please do make sure to complete it, because it really helps tell a story about our university and how it supports you into good careers. Your voice really does matter. I do hope you've enjoyed your days so far, marking this momentous occasion. And if you haven't already walked across our VIP red carpet over at Northgate Arena, there's still plenty of time after the ceremony. We wish you success and fulfilment wherever your next steps may take you. We've been making history as an institution since the 1800s, and we're privileged to have your contributions and achievements as students to be part of our story, just as we are part of yours. I'd like to conclude with some heartfelt thank yous. I'd like to say thank you to our wonderful Chancellor, Giles Brandreth, who is such a great support to this university, not just at graduation, but in working with us on the Commonwealth Poetry podcast, which he devised, many engagements with students and staff, particularly during the pandemic when he was such a moral support. So I would love to show our appreciation. Thank you. I'd like to thank our frontline health and social care workers, practice partners, people without whom we'd be unable to deliver our programmes at all. These people are responsible across Cheshire and Wirral for the delivery of interprofessional health and social care, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'd also, within the university, like to thank all the academics who adapted and changed your programmes of study to ensure that you could stay on course during the pandemic and achieve your full potential. Thank you to our wonderful professional services teams who will have helped you in so many ways, and our hospitality team for the marquee celebration. Thank you to our governors for their strategic support and challenge. It's wonderful to have some of them with us here today. And to our civic institutions, in particular Councillor Little, our Deputy Mayor, who's attended so many ceremonies this week. They really do demonstrate a true partnership approach. And we're particularly grateful to the Dean and Chapter for their support and the use of this fantastic cathedral, and to our organist who's helped create such a memorable experience for us all. Thank you. Now, at this last ceremony of our autumn graduation week, I just have a couple of particular thanks to key members of the university team who work so closely with the cathedral. I wonder whether I could ask Kirsty Simpson, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Business and Management, to step up. Kirsty has been our academic praelector for many years now. What that means is she has to keep the academics in order. That's a great task indeed, and she's moving on to hand that role to somebody else. So after all those years, Kirsty, many thanks from all of us. Thank you. I would like to thank all the colleagues who've helped. The people you see robed today in different colours are from all parts of the university, so I would very much like to thank all of them. But we do have a very small team focused just on these events. And I'd like to thank one of them, Darius Austin, who's been such an effective awards and ceremonies assistant. He's moving on to a key role in our planning team. So well done, Darius, and many thanks. And finally, I would like to acknowledge the terrific role played by our graduation coordinator, Debbie Nunes. She is the person who brings these ceremonies and all of us together to celebrate in such fine style. This is her 43rd ceremony of 2022, so you have our thanks, Debbie. And now back to you. And for all of us here, I do look forward to seeing you in the marquee on the Cathedral Green to celebrate. To those watching around the world, goodbye and thank you so much for celebrating with our graduates. So to our newest alumni, congratulations once again. You will always be part of the University of Chester, and the University of Chester will always be part of you.
I declare closed this congregation for the presentation of degrees and awards. Salva sit universitas nostra, quod pregantes consurgamus.